Hi, welcome to Strength Reversed. It's Amy. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I am talking all about guides. I have spoken about my guides here and there on my channel and in other places, and people always ask me how I came to work with them or what experiences I have with them. And so I felt inspired to share everything that's on my mind about working with guides. And this is my experience. I'm sure you can find many books about it and many people who have different experiences, but I thought I would share what I know to be true. So I'll tell you all about who guides are, how to meet them, how to communicate with them, how you know if you're just making it all up, and I'll give you 5 ways to communicate with your guides, or 5 steps, I should say, 5 tips at the end. So I don't know how I began working with guides. When I was a kid, from my youngest memories, I felt a loving presence with me, and I still feel it today. If I am by myself, which I really love to be quite a lot because I'm extremely introverted, there is just this presence with me, and it might be my higher self. Maybe I'm losing it, who knows? But it is a presence that I feel free to talk to out loud many times. So if you catch me talking to myself, it's not to myself, okay? But I have done this ever since I was a child. Is it a guide? I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's some sort of angel or something, otherworldly, some sort of benevolent spirit who's with me and has been for my entire life and probably always will be. Now, I have felt those, sometimes you feel this presence and you get the goosebumps and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you feel really uncomfortable. And that is not what this is. This is not anything that makes me feel afraid. When I feel those other kinds of presences, I just tell them to be gone, go away, and it always works. So if it feels icky or weird or scary, that's not your guides. So who are guides? Well, you have lots of different options to choose from. They can be guardian angels, they can be deities, it can be animals, it can be a past life version of yourself, it can be ancestors, it can be loved ones. Now, just an aside about working with loved ones who have passed away, they're not Jesus just because they're on the other side. So they're still them. Maybe they have the benefit of hindsight, or they have some perspective or some understanding now. They can definitely be powerful, excellent guides who want to help you. But if you didn't get along with someone in life or you had a lot of issues, maybe not. Okay, so just keep that in mind. How to meet guides. The best way to meet a guide is to just ask to meet a guide. You can do that in prayer or meditation. You can meet a guide in a dream. You can ask a deity or an angel that you work with to help you meet a guide, although they're probably already a guide. You can, even in tarot, I've had experiences where I see a card and I just, I know that image, or I work with a guide who, and it's like, there it is on the card. So tarot can help with that. Or sometimes you just have repeated sightings where you see something on TV, you read something in a book, you see something in a store, and it's just through synchronicity, you keep seeing one animal, or you keep seeing a certain image, a certain deity, or whatever. Maybe it's, a certain archangel keeps just showing up and you keep hearing about it and seeing it. And so if it piques your interest and keeps popping into your head, they're probably trying to get your attention. How do you know that it's real, that it's not all in your imagination, that you're not just making it up? It is in your imagination, so you can just put that fear aside. Our imaginations are our connection to the divine. This, when we come into this life in this earth school and we have 5 very limited senses and we kind of forget all of our greater knowledge, and we have to keep reminding ourselves of that. That imagination is really directly connected to the divine. And so if it is in your imagination, just go with it. Now, I'm not talking about where you fantasize about, breaking that one person's windshield that who broke your heart. Okay, that's not imagination like I'm talking about. I mean when you daydream and really let your mind go, when you're in an alpha state, that calm, relaxed state, maybe in prayer or meditation, maybe it's through movement when you are walking or you sit on a swing and just swing back and forth. Or sometimes, unfortunately, when you're driving, but I wouldn't recommend that. Pay attention. All of those, that relaxed state when you just let your mind go and you ask a question and you feel that you are imagining an answer, write that down, because what comes through you is your connection to your higher self. So if it feels like you're making it all up, get over that quickly, because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You're still connected to your highest guides, even if that is your higher self. So it might not be something out there. It really is something inside. And that is where I think guides reside, is inside of us. It's not like connecting to, it's not like mediumship or anything like that. This is like an internal conversation. Let your mind wander. And sometimes I think people expect their messages to be very romantic, very spiritual and profound. But sometimes you get things that are very mundane, or you might see a symbol that's just very, you think, oh, that can't be my answer. That can't be my sign because it was on a billboard, or that can't be my sign because it was on some guy's t-shirt, or that can't be my sign because it's like, something sitting on a shelf at a thrift store. It can be, because they're going to use whatever symbol or whatever you're going to understand is how that they are going to talk to you. And so they're going to take everyday things and that's going to click for you. It could be a penny. It can be, lots of people see a feather. It can be, you just know. There's a sense of that claircognizant, that calm knowing when you know it's from your guides, and that is part of your answer. You just kind of know. Is it them? So I get this message. Is it from my guides or is it something else? The way you know it's from your guides is when you have that calm feeling. Messages from your guides are subtle. Sometimes they're really annoyingly subtle, but they're gentle and they're persistent. And if you ask again, then they'll tell you again, and they're very patient with you. Anything that makes you feel afraid or anxious is usually ego and fear coming up, maybe some kind of resistance. Your guides will never tell you that anything bad's going to happen. They're not going to tell you to do anything immoral, or they're not going to try to make you uncomfortable. Sometimes it can be an intense experience, but you can tell your guides what you need. I once had a guide that was like way intense, and I said, look, you have to find a different way to talk to me. You're at a 10 and I need you to be at a 5. And you can tell your guides that. You can ask them to back off. You can tell them no. You can say, I don't want to work with you, in a respectful way. You can say, I don't feel like I'm ready for this. And they will totally respect that, and they don't punish you. They're not anything that needs to be worshipped. They are here to help you. That is what they are all about, and they like nothing better than that. So they will never try to make you feel bad. They will never be mad at you. Maybe they might find you exasperating, or maybe it's just my guides find me exasperating, but they will be there for you again and again and again. They will never punish you. Sometimes they will fade into the background, and I find that a lot of times there's no warning, and I don't really see a reason why I would have some new guides suddenly pop in, or some guide I've been working with for a long time suddenly fade into the background. They never really leave all the way. They're there, but it's almost like they're just saying hello. They kind of don't come forward anymore. And you will, you'll just know. You'll just have that experience. And if you work with guides, you probably do have that experience. And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, but it's just like people, where they might be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I have a couple of guides that I've worked with forever, and I've had some that stay for a long time and some that are just there very quickly and then they move on. So you never know, but I talk to them every day, and I'll get into 5 tips for working with them. Anyway, you're in charge, though. Remember that. You can ask for what you need, and if it's too much for you, you can ask for them to find a new way to communicate with you, because, you're freaking me out or something like that. So 5 ways to work with your guides. Number 1 is be quiet. So you have to shut down the noise, and that can be walking, it can be meditating, it can be laying in the hammock, it can be going for a bike ride, but I don't mean like reading a book or watching TV. The noise has to be off, and the distractions have to be turned off, and your focus is inside. And so that is how you can get in touch with them. Number 2 is call them. You can call them by name. That really, really helps. Say their name out loud. On the way to work every day, I ask them to be with me, and it's just like a hello and a check-in, but say their names out loud, and tell them what you need. Tell them what you want, and just keep in touch. Number 3 is just ask for guidance. So you might unburden yourself. You might say, I'm feeling this way or that way, or I'm having a problem with this, or here is my question. Tell them. You need to tell them, here's what I need help with. Please help me with this. You can ask them to help you find something you lost. Don't think that just because it's not of utmost, importance, that it's not worth their time, because it really is worth their time, and they'll help you with pretty much anything. The 4th tip, and this is what I struggle with, is once you ask them, you have to shut up. You have to listen for the answer and accept the answer that they're giving you. So it's easy to unload and ask for help, but then to be quiet and really listen and be open and receptive to hearing what they have to say is, to me, the hardest part. It's the hardest part. It's like an exercise that I'm constantly trying to improve on, and listen. And when you listen, again, it can be in prayer, it can be on a walk, but write it down. I find that really, really helps, and you won't regret writing down the messages that you get. Automatic writing is wonderful for that. Ask a question out loud and then just start writing. Don't worry about thinking that it's all in your head. It's fine. Just write down all that imagination going on in your head. And then number 5 is check in daily. So touch base with them often, even if you don't have any specific questions. Ask them for their general help and support, and saying things like, I'm open to receiving guidance, or I'm open to hearing from you, and calling on them by name every day really, really helps build a connection with them. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you work with guides, or if you have anything that I forgot, or if you have any questions. Please let me know, and I hope this serves you. I will see you next time. Bye.